Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. So a few days ago, we had the first big leak of FC26. Basically, something insane is going to be dropping on this game. But since then, we've had no news. The news has gone radio silent until now. And we're talking about what that means because the leakers are saying something between today and Thursday is going to drop on this game, and it's going to be massive, but we don't know what it is yet. Now, we do know one thing that's happening today on Monday, and that is the Ultimate Gauntlet, which we started preparing for yesterday, making investments during Squad Battle Rewards. And after EA dropped 50k packs in the store, creating another buying window of opportunity for hopefully some price rises today and into this week. We're going to look at the market in today's video and also look for the rest of Monday content today, which may give us another 77 plus upgrade pack and another chance at a player SBC. Let's get into it, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Firstly, we're going to start with yesterday's Sunday content. There wasn't anything super crazy, but a couple of interesting things. First, here in objectives, we have the Saudi League Foundation's objective for Toze, the Portuguese man, and actually this could be very helpful with the chemistry links to the Retegui SBC that just dropped a couple of days ago. He's very easy to get done. I actually finished part of this, finishing up the Cornerstones exhibition live event yesterday, finishing up that objective to get the Arnal Martinez, since it of course is correctly counting the games now. I did that one there, so get that one done if that matters to you. Now we go to evolutions, where we had a crazy evo, guys. Like, this ice cold cosmetic is actually insane. Like, that looks so cold, especially you think Cold Palmer would be perfect for his card right there. However, it's 50,000 coins, man. At this stage of the game, there's no way I'm thinking about spending 50k on an ice cold VFX a cosmetic evo like this. I mean, it's only out for 2 weeks, so you have to spend 50k or 250 FC points on this soon. That's a skip. If they drop that later on in the year when we have millions from trading and building up the club on our RTG accounts, then sure, it could be worth it. But that's just kind of a taste into how much these cosmetic evos have been upgraded this year, it seems, with some of those cool animations. So that is a cool thing to see, but also it's like 50k, that's crazy. Now, yesterday we also had another +1 stat upgrading evo, this time dribbling, right? We've had a defensive boost, we've had a passing boost, we've had the shooting boost. Here's the dribbling boost, a footwork phenom. It cost 5,000 coins. You could do it 2 times, so 10k in total, and it boosts your dribbling +1 up to 83. Just like a lot of the other evos, it's just 2 simple matches. So I know it's another paid evo for a stat boost, which I like these evos. I think they have a place, and I think they're actually going to be really great for some evolution chains. And maybe you can combine the passing one, the dribbling one, and the shooting one. It's just going to cost you some coins, and that's a little bit annoying, right? You see it's downvoted on Footbin for the reason of the coins, I believe. That's why that is there. We just need pace now. When are we going to get the pace evo? And how much is that going to cost? Like 25,000 coins to give our cards +1 pace? I don't know. But that is the evo that we had yesterday. Let's go to SBCs, where we had the big flashback, Leon Goretzka. The leaked stats were exactly correct, and the leaked price was pretty much correct as well. It's 70,000 coins for this Goretzka card, and this is a hot topic right now. Is he worth it? The community is split, basically 50-50, according to Footbin here. 53% thumbs up on the SBC, 47% thumbs down. Again, you see 74,000 coins for this card, and the actual card itself has just a few more thumbs up than thumbs down. But it just seems similar enough to other cards you could create in this game, or maybe a center mid you already have in your team, that for some people it's not worth it. I'm on the fence with this card, man, partially because I don't have Bayern links to make this card fit into my team super easily, so I'd have to either go buy one or get lucky to pack one, and right now that's maybe making me want to put this SBC on hold. Now, this is a really good card. 3-star, 4-star, you got the 4-star weak foot. He can play anywhere in the central midfield positions. He's got great passing stats. 89 short and long pass is awesome. With the incisive base, really good. Good defending, good physical, great dribbling as well. 88 reactions, it's going to be an overlooked stat. He does have a little bit of agility and balance issues in this card, but you throw an engine on him and you're going to be good to go. He's got fine play styles. He has relentless on this card instead of Something else that he had, Aerial Fortress, I think, is on his base gold card. Still has the header, still has Power Shot, Incisive, and Bruiser, and he has Box to Box Plus Plus. I like that personally because that fits my formation 4-1-2-1-2, the left center mid spot perfectly. That's another reason why I'm tempted to do this, but it just also seems like maybe too much of a, just a price, too much of a hurdle to jump through to get this card done, too much of an obstacle to do this SBC right now, especially with what's maybe coming. We maybe have a Claudia Pina Player of the Month. They're still voting for that, and the La Liga Player of the Month, which probably isn't going to be an Mbappe SBC, at least in my opinion, even though he may win the award. We're still waiting on that. So this is out for a week. Maybe it's worth letting it sit for a couple of days, see what other content drops, and then deciding if you want to actually send the fodder for this SBC. Even though it's not that much, a lot of it you might have in the club. Fodder is very important right now because we don't get a lot of it. Now, there are a couple of Bayern cards that did go up yesterday with this, like Musiala went from 130,000 coins up to almost 150K where he is now. Other players like Upamecano and Alphonso Davies, they really didn't move that much. They went down a little bit after content, and then maybe they've rebounded back up a little bit. Like Upa was 22, went back to 20, then back up to 21, 5, 22 where he is right now. So there are definitely a lot of people doing this Goretzka, but there's also a lot of people, I believe, that think it's not quite worth it. We had one other player SBC yesterday, which is the Nichelle Prince, which is a decent NWSL link. If you have the other squad foundations right back, that was a Brazilian. I think actually we all have that card, and she is only one simple squad. Is it an 80 rated? 81 rated squad. That's very, very cheap there for maybe a squad player for the Gauntlet squads that you're building today. Now, let's talk about the market for a quick second, and let's just do that by looking at the market index, which tracks kind of the base movements of the market each and every day. Of course, we saw a drop with squad battle rewards. We mentioned this would be a great time to buy. There was more packs open yesterday because more people had squad battle rewards as more people were on the game than last Sunday when this first came out. You saw the nice market drop there, and you saw some prices start to rebound. And then we got to the content drop, and EA put tradable packs in the store once again. Not the 100Ks, but they did 50K packs this time. As you can see, they're all the way back here in the back. Rare Players pack, it's 2 of them, but the expiration date, notice, is today at content. So there could be 2 more 50K packs coming in and refreshing today. They might be refreshing the 25, 45, and 50K packs every day, which is going to bring in a little bit extra supply than normal. But the nice thing to see is, this is really nice to see, man. The market rebounded great from that. Like, there was a little bit of panic and definitely a little bit of supply when you saw those 50K packs added, and that's partially why this market dropped off here. But again, it was for 20, 30 minutes, and then prices started to rebound, specifically on some of the more expensive cards. Like, I was specifically watching Rafinha, who was dropping since squad battle rewards. He went from 460K all the way down to 400,000 coins flat, like 410K. I mean, right now, that's an undercut right there. I can't afford it, or I would actually be very tempted to buy it because he's like 450K. But he rebounded back up to 460,000 coins. Other cards like Erling Haaland, he was down at 190K, maybe even a little below that, and he rebounded up to 205,000 coins. Still right now about 199, but it was nice to see that the market rebounded back like this. Now, mostly the expensive cards were the ones that were rebounding back. A lot of your cheaper cards, like a Bradley Barcola or the Tamori that we looked at in yesterday's video, they were dropping from squad battles, right? We saw this. That's good. That's good. Content comes, boom, they drop a little bit more, and it kind of just created the best time to buy some of these cheaper players. Like Barcola went from 7,000 coins all the way to 5,800. He's 62 now, starting to rise back up as we get closer into the content drop time today. I'm just thinking about some of those cheap cards that are less than 10K, like we were mentioning yesterday. Those were the cards that dropped a little bit more after content, and there was another great buy window, and prices went even lower on them. How about Chiesa here? He is 7.7K. Yesterday with rewards, didn't drop that much. At content, he did. Only down to 7.4K, and now he's, trickling back up in price as well. Javi Simons is one that we mentioned in yesterday's video. Spurs center attacking mid. He dropped really, really low yesterday. He was a great investment, I think, and he is on the way back up too. So if you missed out on some of these like low buy prices yesterday after the content drop, you can probably still get on some bids, but I would expect, especially on these cards, a lot of people are preparing for the Gauntlet today. I do think you're going to see some of these players rise back up in value now. Colomani's 4,800 coins, another very popular card for the Gauntlet. He was 5K, went down to 4.2. And now he's almost back up at 5K. So those cheaper cards are starting to rise up on the market. Yesterday, for myself, again, I mentioned I was going to go in on some middle tier to higher tier cards. The Kimmich I bought at 40,000, sold for like 43 to 44. I bought a Debinha as she is out of packs, as her inform is in packs at 39, sold it for 46. Got a couple of Cole Palmers at 45 and 48, sold for 56 and 57. This Kvaratskhelia did not work out, of course. I bought him for 119, sold for 117. I actually sold this right when the 50K packs dropped. So a little bit of a panic sell from there for me. And I bought this Militao at 67,000 coins. And just recently, I picked up a Nico Williams as he's out of packs for 194. I think I can sell this for 215 and make a nice chunk of change. And I got a Reinders as well for 175 yesterday that I'm still sitting on, trying to sell just shy of 200,000 coins. I want to mention this too. These promo cards, the new cornerstones, are very rare on all budgets. Honestly, if you have less than 100K, you can trade with these cards. Yesterday, I bought 2 Wendy Renards for 140,000 coins and sold her for 160. Minutes later, these cards fluctuate a lot. Malik Tillman was another one. He was down at like 45K yesterday and then went all the way back up after content, after the 50K packs dropped, to like 57,000 coins. So it went up 12,000 coins on an 85 rated card. These items are pretty rare. It makes them very good to trade with, almost kind of like a hero or an icon. They have great fluctuations, and I do think they could fluctuate upwards in price a little bit today. So I'm just keeping an eye on some specific cards that I think have potential to move today. So don't sleep on any of these cornerstones for those sort of movements. Yesterday on stream, we were shouting out Di Lorenzo at 90K. He went all the way back up to 100. He's even 98 right now. That could be a card that moves up just a little bit more. Usually the promo teams on Mondays after the weekend, after especially like Foot Champs is over during a normal weekend, starting next weekend, we'll see this. Mondays usually bring a decent rise to the in-packs cards on the current promo team on the market. So that's kind of what's going on with the market right now. But let's talk about the content, guys. We know the Gauntlet's incoming. We'll talk about that again in a second. But there was some big leak news yesterday, kind of giving us an update on this whole situation. If you guys remember, literally 5 days ago now, we talked about this Bombazo leak, right? Whenever you see a leaker tweet out all the Bombazo emojis on Twitter, you know that something massive is incoming. In previous years, this has meant like the exchange SBCs were going to drop. I think the 500,000 coin evolution, one of the 2 big ones that we had last year in FC 25, were tweeted out like this, like huge news. Like this is a big, massive, game-altering piece of content that he is teasing here with this leak. And since then, he hasn't said much about it. Foot Police mentioned that, you know, one of the Bombazos was the promo. One was the SBC, which was not leaked yet, but it ended up being Goretzka. And he says not leaked yet. And he has not said what this is going to be. Again, last year he said he does not do this very often. It 100% means something big when he uses Bombazos. And he listed the major times when he did it last year: major evolutions, exchanges, or big SBCs. Now, this is the new news with this developing story, right? Yesterday, Foot Police leaked. He knew the price of Goretzka. He got it right on. He's flexing that he has leaks. GG's. Weaver from the streams, if you guys know Weaver, he runs a really great Discord. If you want to get involved in that, we have a discount link down below in the description of the video as well. If you want to get involved in a more direct trading community, direct method of getting investments sent to you, that's there. Anyways, he says, reply if you think the Bomba is coming within the next 4 days. We need a timer now. We've been wanting to know when this is going to drop, right? And he confirms it with a check mark. So guys, between today, Monday, and Thursday, which will be the next 4 days, in my opinion, whatever this is about should be dropping. Now that's the problem. He still hasn't said what this is about. We're all on the edge of our seats waiting. We've been thinking about this for the past couple of days. This has kind of been impending news in the back of our minds. What in the world could this be? There's a lot of ideas right now about what this might be. It might be icon swaps, because think about it. EA is bringing back some of the OG kind of community favorite aspects of Ultimate Teams of old, right? We've already had the tournaments that have come back and the silver tournaments in that regard. We've already had, I'm blanking on some other things that they brought back, but you know, that's the main one I can think of, right? Icon swaps would fit perfectly into this sort of situation. Of course, after I think a couple years of not having it, was it FIFA 23 the last time that we had icon swaps and objectives? It kind of got replaced by the season pass because icon swaps was similar to this, but still it would be different. Remember those tokens we'd have to grind and collect to turn in for either packs or for players or player picks, like icon player picks and stuff. That was a great time. It could be that. It could be the return of like the real league SBCs, because usually we get league SBCs, but maybe they're actually going to have players in them this time. That would be a big nostalgic piece of good content, especially if the packs are tradable and then the player at the end is like a decent player. That'd be great. Or also this could potentially be the first icon player SBC or pack, which seems very, very early, but like that seems worthy of this many bombazos. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were to get an icon SBC player or pack within the first 2 weeks of the game, first of all, I'd say war a slow power curve, EA Sports, because that's crazy. We haven't had icon packs before until like usually mid to late October, sometimes November is when we get the first like icon upgrade pack. So that even seems a bit far-fetched. We don't even know, but it's maybe possible. Now, this leaker yesterday, Georgie Foot, he hasn't leaked in a long time, but he's always there for a cheeky leak. And he tweeted a bit too early, maybe. This makes me feel worried that whatever this leak is going to make us feel like the power curve is progressing too much too quick, because again, this amount of hype still yet to be confirmed. So we're using a little bit of our professional skepticism here, but with how much of a deal he's making of it, it's got to be something massive, man. Guys, watch Twitter, okay? Watch the news, because when it comes out, it's going to be everywhere. If, again, he used that many bombazo emojis, it's got to be a big deal. The other thing is, if it is a big player SBC, you know what's going to tell you that before they even leak it? The market. Because if there is actually an icon pack or a big player SBC incoming, like an icon pack or icon player SBC, you're going to see fodder go up. And fodder is kind of starting to trend upwards. I don't know if this is just a popular community investment because people are starting to get some more coins, and this is a part of the market that is always investable early on in the year, or if it is for some of these big leaks that we have outstanding right now. But if you start to see fodder jump up in price, you can of course go and flip in here and click on the SBC drop down, cheapest player by rating. This is going to end up being one of the most useful pages on Futbin's website as we go throughout the year, because as you go and do SBCs, you want to know what the cheapest cards are for that rating. And this is how you find fodder prices and track them as well. Again, if you look over the past week or so, fodder has started to trend up. It has, but we've also had a couple of SBCs since then, like the Zubimendi, and of course we've had the Goretzka, which is probably going to pull this up a little bit. But again, this is really interesting to see fodder go from about 6K on the 87s up here to around 7,000 coins. It's a waiting game. If these cards go up another 1,000 coins a card, then I would say there's probably something coming. It's an SBC. But again, notice 87s can only go to 11,000 coins. Price ranges on these cards are kind of tight to where their current prices actually are. So that's a lot to just say. That's something we have to keep in our minds. I know we're talking a lot about the market and trading, and a lot of people want to know, is it safe to buy a team and hold on to a team? We have the first Foot Champs this weekend. It's a huge week for buying teams and getting ready for the most competitive competition with the best rewards in this game. But with this impending bombazo leaks, and we still don't know what it is, that could shake up the market a bit. So I think we have to still be careful. I know we had a great market rise on Friday with everything that happened. A lot of you guys bought cards super cheap. You know, Lamine Yamal is still a card who was 240,000 coins on Friday, and right now he's still right around 300K. His price is still holding out very well. A lot of the top tier cards are holding out very well in price too, but could this potential news drop some of those prices? It could. It's just going to depend on what it is. So we're going to be watching that very, very closely today, as maybe finally we'll learn what exactly is going to be happening. Now, again, as we mentioned, we know one thing that's happening today, guys, and that is the Gauntlet, right? The Gauntlet is starting today at content drop time, and it's going to be really interesting because this is the first time we've ever had this before. We believe there's going to be some market rise in the lower tier, and this is how I think it's going to go, right? Imagine this. For people who don't know what this is, they hear about it, they're like, what is the Gauntlet, right? By the way, if you had those questions, we dropped a video on this more in depth yesterday. I don't want to just say the same things twice that we said yesterday. You go check that one out. We got prepared for the Gauntlet yesterday and kind of just reminding ourselves of what it is after EA announced it, and this is the first time that we're playing it. But just imagine you play the first event today of the Gauntlet, and then your team is X'd out for the next round, and you're like, what the heck do I do? Then you're like, oh, I gotta go build another team. That would be, I think, a lot of people's experience that have not done the research and preparation to know what the Gauntlet mode is going to be. And I think those are the people that are going to go to the market and be buying these lower tier, less than 10K cards for these squads. So hopefully we do see a decent rise on the market today for that. And then of course you're going to need those teams again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because we do believe that this Gauntlet is going to be one entry per day for the rest of this week. At least that's how it sounds. I guess we don't know exactly how long it's going to go, but I think it's either a week long or it's just this like midweek time period. And we're going to need 3 full squads, starting 11 and bench, and you cannot use those again in later rounds. So I'm really excited to see the rewards of this today as well. Remember that Kudus is somehow a part of the rewards section here, as EA also mentioned packs, player picks, and Evo consumables are going to be a part of it. Now, some other content to expect today on Monday. We've got the Nico Paz, we've got the Alyssa Thompson, and Bowen. I think those are probably the top 3 most potentially releasing SBCs today on this game. Again, I still think that Nico Paz card is sick. Bowen looks very usable as well, as does Alyssa Thompson. All 3 of those look really solid, if I'm being completely honest, and one of them could be today. Also, it's Monday, which means we should be getting another upgrade pack. And as you can see, EA's kind of teased it already right here on this screen. There's Zubimendi, there's a pack, there's a little challenge SBC with a puzzle piece, and below that, there's the 77 plus cornerstones little image there. I literally think that we're going to get this 77 plus ×2 pack that we've had from the beginning of last week on Monday. Probably just refreshed. That's my opinion on what that 77 plus means. But hey, who really knows? It could be another, maybe it's a 77 plus player pick. That would be pretty sick. If it was probably a 1 of 2 would be what they drop first. But if it's something 77 plus today, I would not be surprised, as this SBC is expiring. And then for evolutions, Foot Agent is the only person to have leaked an evolution right now, but Foot Police usually has a lot of those leaks as well. He is kind of, flexing. He got the playstyle long ball playstyle Evo and the dribbling evolution, right? And he's asking if we want to know Team 2 of the Cornerstones promo or more of the Cornerstones evolution. So there is potential that we could have another small evolution dropped today on this game as well. So yeah, guys, that's kind of the current state of the game at the moment. I'm really curious what this leak is, man. I think a lot of us are as well, because it's going to have market implications, and it's also just going to impact what we do on this game and the excitement of content. That's probably another topic for another video, but I think people are saying content-wise so far, sure, the gameplay is fresh and it's new, and we like a lot of things about it. There's some things that we don't like, but the content itself has just been solid. Not that the early game content needs to be crazy. We got a long time for this year for content to be having its crazy moments, but I do think that content needs a little juice of something, like something unique and special. The tournaments and stuff is a good start. There's a lot of greatness there. The gauntlets, hopefully there's good stuff too. But, like the SBCs, okay. Now, there's been some decent ones. Evolutions feel a lot down from where they were last year. Objectives, it is what it is. So whatever this is, I hope it brings the hype, just like the leakers are making it out to be. But again, make sure you stay tapped in on the Twitter. Make sure you stay tapped in here on YouTube, on Twitch. We're going to be live streaming today, seeing what this leaked news is. Hopefully we get some answers, and hopefully we can make some coins from the situations on the market too. We'll be covering that always. Guys, we're going to have another video coming out this week that's going to be a separate best trading methods video. That is something I want to do for you guys. We've now seen this game in this market for 2 weeks. We kind of have a sense of how it's going to move, and no matter what budget you're on, I want to drop a video that you can always reference if you're like, man, what can I trade? Go back to that video and watch it. We're going to have that video releasing very soon this week as well. But that's the video for me today. See you guys in the stream here on YouTube and also on Twitch. Those links are down in the description if you want to check us out there. Have a great Monday, guys. Start to the week, and I will see you guys later today in the stream. It's been TheFutAccountant. Catch you there. Peace.